Hello. Today, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. The life you desire, the freedom you long for, the person you want to become. All of that isn't a gift the universe will magically hand you. No, it's the direct result of the person you transform into, day after day, through hard work and discipline. This is where Stoicism comes in. You might have heard the term, but let me be clear. Stoicism isn't about being an emotionless robot, nor is it about resigning yourself to everything that happens. It's a practical philosophy, over 2,000 years old, that teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. It teaches us to focus on our minds, our actions, and our responses, and to find tranquility and strength amidst life's chaos. When I talk about manifesting, I'm not referring to closing your eyes, wishing for something really hard, and expecting it to appear on your doorstep. That's fantasy, not reality. Manifesting is an action verb. It means working on yourself to become the person who is capable of sustaining, deserving, and attracting what you desire. If you want a more fulfilling, prosperous life with better relationships, you first have to build the version of yourself who can have all of that. This video isn't here to entertain you. It's here to make you reflect and force you to act. I'm going to share 15 Stoic lessons, raw and direct truths, that will serve as tools to compel you to work on yourself, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. These lessons will guide you to stop dreaming and start building. Are you ready for the work? Because real change, I assure you, demands work. Lesson number 1. Discomfort is the path. Listen carefully. All true change hurts at first. If you want to manifest a better life, if you want to transform your body, your mind, your finances, or your relationships, you have to embrace discomfort. It's non-negotiable. Do you want to wake up early to work on your project? It'll be uncomfortable. Do you want to learn a new skill and you'll fail again and again? It'll be uncomfortable. Do you want to improve your diet and break those habits that are holding you back? It'll be uncomfortable. Personal growth is, by nature, uncomfortable. It's stepping out of your comfort zone. It's facing your fears. It's doing what you know you should do even if your body and mind scream no. It's not easy, but it is absolutely necessary. The resistance you feel is confirmation that you're on the right path. That resistance is the barrier between who you are and who you can become. Dare to cross it. Think about it for a moment. If you always choose the easy path, the path of least resistance, how do you expect to develop? It's like trying to build strong muscles without lifting weights. The muscle of character, resilience, and willpower only strengthens when you test it. And that test, by definition, involves discomfort. Discomfort isn't an enemy, it's your ally. It's the signal that you're pushing your limits, that you're stepping out of your bubble of familiarity. When you feel that twinge of resistance, that desire to give up or to postpone, that's exactly where the opportunity for growth lies. Many people avoid discomfort at all costs. They look for shortcuts, quick fixes, magic pills that promise results without effort. But the reality is that what's built easily crumbles just as easily. The foundations of a solid life and a robust self are built with the sweat and effort of facing the uncomfortable. Imagine you want to learn a new language. At first, you'll make mistakes, you'll feel clumsy, perhaps even embarrassed. That's the discomfort of learning. If you give up there, you'll never become fluent. The same applies to starting a business, healing a broken relationship, or developing a new healthy habit. The key isn't for discomfort to disappear. The key is to change your relationship with it. Instead of seeing it as a threat, see it as an invitation to grow, to learn, to prove to yourself what you're capable of when you force yourself to cross that barrier. This means that, from today on, when you face something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, don't avoid it, embrace it, welcome it. It's your time to grow. It's your time to get stronger. Lesson number 2, don't control what isn't up to you. How much energy do we waste trying to control the uncontrollable? We get frustrated because people don't act as we want, because the past can't be changed, because the future is uncertain, or because fate seems to be working against us. Let me tell you clearly, don't waste a single minute of your valuable energy on what is not within your sphere of influence. The only thing, I repeat, the only thing you can control is your response to things, your attitude, your decisions, your actions. That is your true freedom. Stop fighting with external factors, with traffic, with other people's opinions, with the global economy. Instead, start mastering yourself. Turn your gaze inward. That's where your power resides. Think of all the times you've gotten angry about something someone else said or did, something completely out of your control, or the anxiety you feel about a future event you have no certainty about. All that energy is wasted. It's like trying to move a mountain with your bare hands. It's futile and exhausting. The Stoics were masters of this distinction. They called it the dichotomy of control. What you can control are your judgments, your desires, your aversions, your intentions, and your actions. Everything else, the weather, others' opinions, the results of your efforts after you've done your best, the health of others, the past is beyond your domain. When you focus on the uncontrollable, you become a victim of circumstances. You allow external factors to dictate your mood, your peace of mind, and your direction. It's like sailing a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of the currents. Conversely, when you direct your attention and energy to what you can control, you reclaim your autonomy. You realize that, although you can't change the wind, you can adjust the sails. You can decide how you interpret a situation, how you react to a setback, what steps you take next. This lesson is fundamental for inner peace and effective action. You can't control being laid off, but you can control how you search for a new job, what you learn from the experience, and how you maintain your attitude. You can't control if your partner leaves you, but you can control how you process the pain and how you rebuild yourself. Stop fighting battles you can't win. Stop worrying about what might happen in the future, or regretting what already happened. Your true power lies in the present and in your choice of how to respond to what comes your way. Practicing this requires awareness. It requires pausing and asking yourself, is this thing worrying me under my control or not? If it's not, let it go. Release that burden. If it is, act. And if you're unsure, work on discerning the difference. Lesson number 3, discipline, not motivation. Motivation is an emotional state. It's ephemeral, like a spark that ignites and then goes out. If you wait to feel motivated to start working on your goals, you'll never accomplish anything lasting. Why? Because life has good days and bad days. There will be mornings when you don't want to get up, afternoons when exhaustion overwhelms you, moments when you simply don't feel like doing things. Discipline is something else entirely. Discipline is an unwavering commitment to yourself, to your values, and to your goals, even when you don't feel like doing things. It's the ability to act in coherence with your aims, regardless of how you feel. Build habits, create systems, and force yourself to keep going. Discipline is the engine that will move you forward when motivation abandons you. And I assure you, it will abandon you. Popular culture often glorifies motivation, presenting it as the main fuel for success. But the truth is, motivation is a fickle visitor. It comes and goes without warning. And if you base your progress on its constant presence, you'll be waiting indefinitely. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it might be incredibly hard to sit down and write when you lack inspiration, or to go to the gym when you're exhausted. But every time you do it, despite the lack of desire, you're reinforcing your ability to act without relying on a feeling. Imagine you want to save money. Motivation might prompt you to create a budget for 1 month, but discipline is what will keep you saving consistently, even when unexpected expenses arise or when you see something you really want to buy. It's the daily choice to stick to the plan, no matter how you feel at that moment. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's waking up early in the dark, working in silence when no one is watching, saying no to distractions, and doing what needs to be done. It's boring, repetitive, and often unrewarding in the short term, but it's the most direct path to tangible, lasting results. Stoicism didn't advocate for the repression of emotions, but rather for non-dependence on them. Feeling a lack of motivation is normal, but acting only when you feel motivated is a weakness. Discipline allows you to transcend your temporary emotions and stay on course. To cultivate discipline, start small. Choose one task you know you should do and do it, no matter how little you feel like it. It could be making your bed, doing 5 minutes of exercise, or dedicating a specific time to your project. Every small victory builds your discipline muscle. Remember, motivation can give you the initial push, but discipline is what keeps you in the race, especially when the path gets tough. Don't wait to feel good. Do what you need to do, and the feeling, sometimes, will follow. Lesson number 4, your time is your life. Think about this. Every minute you waste, every hour you let slip away in meaningless distractions, is an irretrievable piece of your life. Your time isn't just time, it's your very existence. It's the most valuable resource you possess, and we often squander it as if it were limitless. Don't waste your time on things that don't bring you closer to your goals, to the person you want to be, to the life you want to manifest. Mindless social media scrolling, pointless complaining, toxic relationships that drain you, excessive leisure that stagnates you. All of that is time you could be investing in your growth, your learning, your well-being. Be ruthless with how you use your time. It's your life. We tend to think of time as a limitless constant, an endless flow that will always be there. But the reality is, it's finite. You don't know how much you have left. Every tick of the clock is a reminder that each passing second is gone forever. And with that second, an opportunity is gone. Consider where most of your time goes. Try and exercise, even for just one day, of meticulously recording how you spend it. You'll be surprised by the number of hours that slip away into activities that don't add value, don't bring you closer to your goals, and don't help you grow. Many people say they don't have time to exercise, to read, to learn, to spend quality time with loved ones, or to work on their dreams. But if you analyze how they use their hours, you realize the problem isn't a lack of time, but a poor management of attention and the absence of clear priorities. The Stoics were aware of life's fleeting nature. Seneca, in his work on the shortness of life, urges us not to squander this precious resource, noting that life is long enough if it is used well. For them, living with purpose meant not wasting time on trivialities. Set priorities. Decide what's most important to you and for the life you want to build. Then, intentionally allocate your time to those priorities. This means saying no to many things, to many invitations, to many distractions that seem appealing but don't nourish you. Time is the only resource you cannot get back, buy, or make more of. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's why every decision about how you use it is a decision about how you're building your life. Are you building it with purpose or leaving it to chance? Invest your time in what truly matters. Invest in your health, your knowledge, your meaningful relationships, your passions, your projects. Treat every hour as if it were gold, because in reality, it's far more valuable. Lesson number 5, adversity trains you. Nobody wants problems, but the Stoics understood something fundamental. Every problem, every difficulty, every failure is an opportunity disguised as growth. Adversities are not obstacles preventing you from moving forward. They are the path itself. They are the gyms where your character is strengthened, where your resilience is forged. When you face a difficulty, don't ask why me. Ask what is this teaching me? An unexpected layoff can be the signal to start your own business. A failed relationship can be the lesson you needed to love yourself. An illness can teach you to value every day. Embrace adversity. Use it. It will make you stronger than you think. We tend to view adversity as something to avoid at all costs. Our natural instinct is to escape pain and difficulty. But if you look at the life of any successful or resilient person, you'll realize that their greatest achievements often arose from their greatest challenges. Adversity forces you to adapt, to innovate, to find creative solutions you never would have discovered in easy times. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and shows you your true limits, which are almost always much further than you imagined. Think about great athletes. They don't get strong by avoiding tough training. They get strong by lifting more weight, running farther, enduring pain and fatigue. The injuries and stumbles on their path are part of the strengthening process. Your life is no different. Every setback, every failure, every criticism, every closed door is an opportunity to learn, to adjust your strategy, to hone your skills. If you see it as a dead end, you'll stop. If you see it as a training ground, you'll become more resilient. The Stoics believed that character is forged in the crucible of difficulty. We cannot control whether bad things happen to us, but we can control how we respond to them. And that response determines whether adversity weakens us or strengthens us. It's not that you should actively seek problems, but that when they inevitably arise, you should change your perspective. Instead of lamenting, ask yourself, what new skill can I develop here? What invaluable lesson can I extract from this? How can I emerge from this as a wiser, stronger person? Adversity is a strict teacher, but its tuition is invaluable. Accept its lessons. Use it to build the unbreakable character that will allow you to manifest anything you set your mind to. Lesson number 6, emotional pain can also be trained. Don't run from sadness, fear, or frustration. Learning to tolerate these emotions without giving up makes you invincible. Life hurts sometimes, but that doesn't mean you're failing. We live in a society that tells us we should avoid pain at all costs. But the reality is, life hurts sometimes. Feeling sadness, fear, frustration, disappointment is part of the human experience. Don't run from these emotions. Ignoring or repressing them only makes them bigger, more damaging. Learn to tolerate these emotions without giving up. It's not about wallowing in them, but about feeling them, understanding the message they bring you, and then moving forward. This doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're living. An athlete trains their body to endure physical pain. You can train your mind to endure emotional pain. That capacity makes you invincible. When we avoid emotional pain, What we're actually doing is prolonging it. It's like trying to hold back a wave. The energy is still there, and eventually, it will overwhelm you. Instead, allow yourself to feel it. Acknowledge that sadness, that fear. Name it. Most people are paralyzed by the fear of failure, rejection, or loneliness. This fear is an emotion, an alarm signal. But if you never face it, you never discover that you have the capacity to overcome it. Tolerance for emotional discomfort is key to resilience. This doesn't mean being masochistic or seeking suffering. It means recognizing that pain is inevitable in life, but prolonged suffering and defeat are optional. You can feel the pain of a loss, but you don't have to sink into self-pity indefinitely. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, visualizing possible adversities not to get depressed, but to mentally and emotionally prepare themselves. This helped them not to be knocked down when things went wrong. Applied to emotional pain, it's about being aware that difficult emotions will come and being ready to feel them and let them pass. Every time you allow a difficult emotion to move through you without reacting destructively, like fleeing, blaming, or seeking distractions, you're building your emotional muscle. You're teaching yourself that you're capable of feeling discomfort and still functioning, still moving forward. The ability to tolerate emotional discomfort frees you to take risks, to pursue your dreams, to be vulnerable in your relationships, to ask for what you need, because you know that, even if it hurts, you can handle it. There are no shortcuts to emotional maturity. It goes through the valley of tears, over the mountain of frustration. But in the end, you emerge stronger, wiser, and with an incredible capacity to face anything life throws at you. Lesson number 7. Be true to your word when you promise something and don't follow through. You don't just let others down, you let yourself down. Learn to respect your word as if it were a sacred contract. In this era of empty promises and broken commitments, your word is your most valuable asset. When you promise something and don't follow through, you don't just let others down, you let yourself down. You're undermining your own trust, your integrity, your self-esteem. Learn to respect your word as if it were a sacred contract. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you commit to something, fulfill it. This applies to big promises and small ones. If you say you're going to wake up at 6 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. If you say you're going to finish a job, finish it. Your credibility with yourself is the foundation upon which you'll build everything else. Personal integrity is the foundation upon which a life of success and inner peace is built. If you can't trust yourself to follow through on what you say, how do you expect others to trust you? And more importantly, how do you expect to build the necessary confidence to pursue big goals? Every time you break a promise, no matter how small, you're sending a message to your subconscious. My words don't matter. My commitments aren't worth anything. And that message accumulates, eroding your self-confidence and sense of worth. Being true to your word isn't just about being honest with others. It's about being brutally honest with yourself. It means thinking before you promise, and only committing to what you are absolutely willing and able to fulfill. If you're unsure, it's better to say I'll try or let me check than to promise and fail. The Stoics valued virtue above all else, and integrity is a central virtue. Being consistent between what you say and what you do is the manifestation of strong, reliable character. It's the difference between someone who dreams of a better life and someone who builds it. When you commit to waking up early to train, and you do. When you promise to finish a report, and you complete it. When you tell yourself you're going to break a bad habit, and you stick with it, you're building a chain of internal victories. These small victories are the bricks with which you build self-esteem and belief in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are a person of your word, a person who can be trusted, starting with yourself. So the next time you feel tempted not to fulfill a commitment you made to yourself, remind yourself of the value of your word. Remind yourself that every failure to follow through weakens you, and every fulfillment strengthens you. Lesson number 8. Don't compare yourself to others. Every person has a different process. Compete only with yourself. Are you better today than yesterday? The internet, social media, have put us in a constant state of comparison. We see others' perfect lives, their successes, their possessions, and we feel inadequate. Stop. Every person has a different process, a unique path, invisible battles, and a different starting point than yours. The only valid competition is with yourself. Are you better today than yesterday? Have you learned something new? Have you overcome any personal limitation? Have you taken one small step closer to your goals? That's the only metric that matters. Focus on your own evolution. Your path is yours, and yours alone. There are no shortcuts to personal growth, only consistent work. Comparison is a thief of joy. It steals your peace of mind, your satisfaction, and your ability to appreciate your own progress. There will always be someone who seems to have more, be more successful, more attractive, or simply better at something. It's an endless race that only leads to frustration and dissatisfaction. What you see in others is just a snapshot, often idealized. You don't see the hours of effort, the sacrifices, the hidden failures, the doubts they also face. You're comparing yourself to a fantasy, not a complete reality. The Stoics understood that true virtue and happiness come from developing your own character and living according to your own principles, not from outperforming others. Your value isn't defined by what others have or do, but by who you are and how you act. When you compare yourself, you shift your focus from what you can control your actions and progress to what you cannot control the lives and achievements of others. This leads to envy, resentment, and paralysis. Instead of looking outward, look inward. What are your goals? What are your values? What small steps can you take today to get closer to the person you want to be? That's your true playing field. The only metric that matters to you is your personal progress. Are you more patient than a year ago? Do you have more knowledge? Have you improved your habits? Are you closer to your dreams than you were before? That's the only comparison that empowers you. Free yourself from the burden of comparison. Recognize that your journey is unique, with its own lessons and its own pace. Celebrate your small victories and learn from your stumbles, without constantly looking over your shoulder. Lesson number 9. Desire without action is self-deception. There's no point in desiring a better life if you do nothing to achieve it. Manifesting isn't visualizing. It's working day after day, even if you don't see immediate results. It's very easy to desire a better life. We all desire things, but desire alone is useless if it's not accompanied by action. There's no point in desiring better health if you continue to eat poorly and stay inactive. There's no point in desiring more money if you don't work, save, or invest. Manifesting isn't simply visualizing or affirming. Manifesting is working day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. It's planting the seeds and nurturing them, even if the harvest isn't immediately visible. Stop deceiving yourself with positive thinking if your actions aren't positive. Action is the bridge between your desire and your reality. We live in an era where the idea that visualizing or decreeing is enough for things to happen has become popular. While having a clear vision is important, it's only 1% of the equation. The other 99% is relentless execution. The universe doesn't respond to your passive desires. It responds to your consistent, aligned actions. If you want a strong body, the universe won't give it to you for wishing for it. It will give it to you when you commit to the discipline of exercise and nutrition. This self-deception of desiring without acting is dangerous because it keeps you in a state of paralysis. It makes you feel like you're doing something, when in reality you're just fantasizing. And every day you postpone action, you move further away from your dreams. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control, our actions. You can't control if the result is immediate or if you encounter obstacles, but you can control whether you get up and do the work. If you want to write a book, it's not enough to desire it. You have to sit down every day and write, even when the words don't flow. If you want to build a business, it's not enough to have a great idea. You have to call, negotiate, fail, learn, and keep going. The gap between desire and action is where most dreams die. To close it, you need a plan, consistent small steps, and the willingness to face resistance. You don't need perfection, you need movement. So ask yourself, what concrete action can you take today, no matter how small, to get closer to what you desire? Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait to feel ready. Act. Lesson number 10. Be grateful. But don't settle. You can be grateful for what you have, but that doesn't mean you should stay stagnant. Gratitude and the desire for improvement can coexist. There's a common misconception, thinking that gratitude implies complacency. That's not the case. You can be deeply grateful for what you have, for the people in your life, for the opportunities presented to you, and at the same time, desire to improve, grow, and aspire to more. Gratitude anchors you in the present, helps you value what you already possess, and prevents the constant search for what's missing. But that doesn't mean you should stay stagnant. Gratitude and the desire for improvement can and should coexist. Be grateful for who you are. Be grateful for what you have, but never stop pushing yourself to be your best self. Some people interpret gratitude as a signal to stop, to be content with what one has. While gratitude is fundamental for happiness and perspective, it should not be an excuse for complacency or stagnation. Imagine a tree. It's grateful for the soil that nourishes it, the sun that warms it, and the water that hydrates it. But that same tree continues to grow, continues to extend its roots and branches, seeking more light and more space to develop. That is the balance we seek. Gratitude protects you from bitterness and the constant feeling that it's never enough. It allows you to see the abundance in your life, even when things aren't perfect. It's an antidote to envy and victimization. However, if gratitude becomes an excuse not to strive, not to seek a better job, not to improve your health, or not to heal your relationships, then it becomes a disguise for fear or laziness. The Stoics, like Epictetus, reminded us of the importance of appreciating what we have, but also of understanding that our virtue and our development are a continuous process. There's no finish line where you simply arrived. There's always room to grow. You can be grateful for your home, and at the same time work towards having a better home or a business that gives you more financial freedom. You can be grateful for your current health, and at the same time strive to improve it with better habits. Gratitude gives you a solid foundation of contentment, while the desire for improvement gives you the energy and direction to keep evolving. They are two sides of the same coin of a life well lived. Practice gratitude daily, but let that same gratitude propel you to be a better version of yourself. Don't settle for less than you are capable of being. Lesson number 11. Learn to be alone. Solitude, when used well, is a mental gem. In solitude, you discover who you truly are. Stop being afraid of silence. In our hyper-connected society, solitude is often seen as a punishment or a failure. But solitude, when used well, is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It's a mental gem, a personal laboratory for self-knowledge. In solitude, without external distractions, without the influence of others, is where you truly discover who you are. It's where you can hear your own thoughts, process your emotions, plan your next steps. Stop being afraid of silence, of your own company. Embrace those moments. It's in them that your character and clarity are forged. The constant need to be surrounded by people, to be digitally connected, to fill every moment with noise, is a way to avoid facing oneself. It's an addiction to distraction that prevents you from knowing your true desires, your deepest fears, and your purpose. When you're alone, you face your thoughts unfiltered. There's no one to impress, no one to please, no one to judge you. It's in that space where you can be brutally honest with yourself, something essential for any real growth. Many avoid solitude because they're terrified of what they might find there: anxiety, sadness, doubts, or the uncomfortable truth that they're not satisfied with their lives. But it's precisely by facing those feelings that you can begin to heal and change. Great thinkers, artists, and leaders have often found their clarity and best ideas in moments of retreat and solitude. It's in silence that intuition speaks loudest, where ideas germinate, and where solid plans are developed. Learning to be alone doesn't mean becoming a hermit. It means cultivating the ability to enjoy your own company, to recharge in stillness, to reflect without interruption. It means that your happiness doesn't depend on the constant presence of others. Dedicate time each day, or at least each week, to be alone with yourself. It can be meditating, journaling, taking a walk without your phone, or simply sitting in silence. Allow your mind to wander and your thoughts to settle. Solitude is not the absence of company, it is the presence of oneself, and it is in that presence that you will find the strength, wisdom, and direction to manifest the life you truly desire. Lesson number 12. Consistency beats talent. You don't need to be the most talented. You need to be the most consistent. Those who go far are the ones who don't give up when they don't see immediate results. It's a myth that only the most talented people achieve great things. Yes, talent helps. It's an advantage. But history is full of examples of talented people who never amounted to anything, and people with less talent who, through sheer consistency, surpassed everyone. You don't need to be the brightest, the smartest, or the most gifted. You need to be the most consistent. You need to be the person who doesn't give up when others throw in the towel. The person who keeps going one more day, one more hour, one more attempt, even when they don't see immediate results. Those who go far are not the ones who get lucky. They are the ones who persist ceaselessly. Society tends to glorify innate talent, which can be demotivating for those who feel they weren't born with extraordinary gifts. But talent without consistency is like a luxury car without gas. It looks good, but it's not going anywhere. Consistency, on the other hand, is the habit of doing the work, of showing up day after day, of continuing to push even when progress is slow or imperceptible. It's the accumulation of small efforts that, over time, produce massive results. Think of any skill: learning an instrument, mastering a sport, writing a book, building a business. No one becomes an expert overnight. It's the product of thousands of hours of deliberate practice, repetition, and persistence through failures. The Stoics did not believe in innate superiority. but in virtue cultivated through practice and effort. For them, true value lay in the development of character and continuous self-improvement, which can only be achieved through consistency. If you are consistent, you will learn from your mistakes, adjust your strategy, and become increasingly better. A talent that is not cultivated atrophies. A skill cultivated with consistency flourishes, even if the starting point was modest. Don't worry if you're not the genius in your field. Worry about being the person who never gives up. The person who gets up one more time than they fall. That's the true formula for sustained success. Your competition isn't the talented person next door. Your competition is your own inconsistency. Conquer that, and you will have won half the battle. Lesson number 13. The mind dominates the body. When you train your mind to resist tiredness, fear, or laziness, your body obeys. True strength begins in the mind. Your body has limits, yes, but most of the time, those limits are imposed by your mind. When you feel tired, when fear paralyzes you, when laziness drags you into inactivity, it's your mind that is giving in, not necessarily your body. When you train your mind to resist that voice that tells you to stop, to give up, your body obeys. True strength isn't in how much weight you can lift, but in how many times you can get up when you've fallen. It's your mind's ability to push your body beyond what you thought possible. Start training your mind as you would any muscle. Think of marathon runners. At some point in the race, their bodies scream to stop, that they can't go on. But what pushes them to the finish line is mental strength. Their minds will to ignore the discomfort and keep going. Laziness, procrastination, lack of discipline are often not a problem of lack of physical capacity, but of a weak mind that gives in at the first sign of resistance or discomfort. It's easier to give in to the urge to check your phone than to work on a difficult project. The Stoics placed enormous emphasis on self-mastery, especially the mastery of the mind over impulses and passions. For them, reason and will had to govern over the automatic reactions of the body and emotions. This doesn't mean ignoring your body's signals when it truly needs rest or medical attention. It means learning to differentiate between genuine fatigue and mere mental resistance to the task at hand. Every time you force yourself to do something you don't want to do, but know you should do, you are strengthening your mental muscle. You are building your willpower, and that willpower is transferable to all areas of your life. If you can convince your mind to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, you can convince it to work on your business when inspiration runs out, or to handle a difficult conversation. Start today by challenging that inner voice that seeks ease. When you tell yourself I can't, ask yourself, can I really not? Or do I just not want to make the effort? True freedom comes when your mind is your ally, not your dictator. Lesson number 14. Live as if you are already the person you desire to be. Don't wait to succeed to act like a disciplined, hardworking, and reliable person. Start behaving today as your best version. That's the fastest way to become that person. This isn't superficial fake it till you make it advice. This is about aligning your actions and your identity. Don't wait to succeed, to have the body you want, the money you crave, or the ideal relationship. To start acting like a disciplined, hardworking, reliable, and self-loving person. Start behaving today as your best version. If you want to be a healthy person, start eating like a healthy person, moving like a healthy person. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, start working with the ethic of a successful entrepreneur. That's the fastest and most effective way to become that person. Actions precede identity. Most people wait to feel like the person they want to be before they act. They want to be successful to feel brave. They want to be rich to feel generous. They want to be fit to feel disciplined. But reality works the other way around. Our identity is built from our repeated actions. Every action you take reinforces the kind of person you are. If you constantly act like a lazy person, you become a lazy person. If you act like a proactive person, you become a proactive person. The Stoics emphasized the practice of virtues. They didn't just think about being brave, they acted bravely. They didn't just philosophize about justice, they acted justly. They knew that philosophy wasn't just a set of ideas, but a way of life. Ask yourself, if you were already that person you admire, how would you wake up in the morning? How would you handle a setback? How would you talk to yourself? What would you invest your time in? And then, do it. Start incorporating those actions into your daily life. This isn't about a false performance, but about intentional self-creation. You're building the evidence your brain needs to believe in your new identity. You're proving to yourself, through your actions, who you truly are. By living as if you are already that person, you not only accelerate the process of becoming them, but you also experience the benefits of those behaviors here and now. Discipline, confidence, peace of mind are not future rewards. They are the immediate results of your present actions. Lesson number 15. Remember that you will die. Death is the greatest reminder that time is limited. Don't live as if you are eternal. Today is the day to change, not tomorrow. This might sound grim, but it's the most liberating Stoic lesson of all. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Don't live as if you are eternal, as if you have an infinite number of tomorrows to postpone your dreams, your goals, your actions. Death is the greatest reminder that your time here is limited. Every day is a gift, an opportunity to build the life you desire. There is no perfect tomorrow to start. There is no Monday that will magically give you the strength to change. Today is the day to change, not tomorrow. Act now. Most people live as if they have an unlimited amount of time, postponing their dreams, their important conversations, their necessary changes. The thought of death, though uncomfortable, is a powerful catalyst for action. It's not about living in fear, but about living with urgency and purpose. Knowing that your time is finite compels you to value every moment, to make bolder decisions, and to set aside the trivialities that distract you from what truly matters. The Stoics didn't view death as a fearsome end, but as a natural part of life, and as a reminder to live fully while one has the opportunity. It's an invitation not to waste the present. What would you do if you knew you had 1 year left to live? Would you still postpone that business? Would you still tolerate that toxic relationship? Would you still wait to say what you feel? Probably not. Life's finitude clarifies your priorities immediately. This lesson invites you to a deep reflection. Are you living the life you want to live? Are you being the person you want to be? If the answer is no, what are you going to do about it? Knowing that every day that passes is one day less. There is no guarantee of a tomorrow. Your only certainty is the now, and in this now, you have the power to choose, to act, to change. Don't wait for the crisis. Don't wait for illness. Don't wait for old age to start living. Stop living on autopilot. Wake up. Take the reins. Time is running out. Use this truth not to depress you, but to ignite the spark of action within you. We've covered 15 essential Stoic lessons, truths that have stood the test of time and that, applied with seriousness, can transform your life. We talked about discomfort as the path, about letting go of control over what's not up to you, about prioritizing discipline over fleeting motivation. We saw how your time is your life, and how adversity is your best teacher. We reflected on emotional pain, the importance of your word, and the danger of comparisons. We understood that desire without action is self-deception, that gratitude and ambition can coexist, and that solitude is a mental gym. We highlighted how consistency beats talent, how the mind dominates the body, and the urgency to act today as the person you wish to be, always remembering the finitude of our time. But simply listening to this is useless if you don't apply it. It's not about feeling motivated for a little while and forgetting it tomorrow. It's about forcing yourself, day after day, to work on the person you need to be to manifest everything you desire. Don't look for excuses. Don't wait for the perfect moment. That moment will never come. Life waits for no one. The moment is now. The action is yours.